So this leak started last week. Started when somebody supposedly leaked the entire roster of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate via a piece of promotional art that contains every character, that famous banner image you've seen. They purportedly posted the final version of it.
The leak waiting to happen.
Look, and above the LOL, all right, you can clearly see the Grinch and Max. All right? And if you look down to the right,
oh yeah, there
you see
they
the
are.
Grinch and you see Max.
And on the very bottom right of the picture, there's a little fucking Grinch keychain. So people associate the Grinch with leaking this whole thing.
You can see an outline of supposedly new characters that aren't in the original being shown here. And you've got things like Ken. You've
Shadow the Hedgehog. That one's pretty easy. I think that could just be an Echo Fighter, I guess.
After showcasing several assist trophies, aka the deconfirmed character time slot, fans got curious when Knuckles was an assist trophy, but Shadow has yet to make an appearance.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Call me Banjo motherfucking Kazooie might be in this game. Oh, what?
The chorus kids from Rhythm Heaven.
In Smash 4, scrap data implied a Rhythm Heaven character was worked on, or at the very least entertained.
Isaac from Golden Sun.
Isaac's been a highly requested character over the years. He made the top 19 list of requested characters in Japan as compiled by Source Gaming.
Gino from Super Mario RPG.
If just Gino being on a list makes me think immediately no, even though I want him to be in it.
And then Mac Rider. I believe absolutely everything in this fucking leak now.
Alex, I don't think it's Mac Rider. I think it's Mock Rider.
I wouldn't in their right mind thought Mock Rider, because that's something that Sakurai in Melee, he posed the idea for a character to be in Smash, and I'm not even sure why, but Mock Rider on a motorcycle, and the reason he didn't include him is because he didn't think you could make good moveset with the character that's always on a motorcycle, but maybe he decided that he could do that, and now we're here.
Why are people believing in this right now? Well, it's very interesting. It seemed to originate from a Snapchat video that was put out privately originally, at least how the story goes right now, and then screenshots were pulled from that Snapchat video and they were posted on Discord, which then found their way to Imager, which then found their way to 4chan.
So the reason that it's blurry, when you see blurry things on the internet, you're like, why is it blurry? This is fake. Why wouldn't you get a good image? But it was from someone's Snapchat video that somebody just screenshot it. That's why it's blurry.
And it has a caption in French, which roughly Really, man?
Going even further into the post, you discover that people have looked up that in the top right-hand corner of the original image, there was a name there that had been blanked out by somebody, but not very well, to be honest. Not well enough that people couldn't find out that there was somebody with that name working at a French printer who has worked in the past with Bandai Namco.
Company who the leaker apparently worked for and Marina PLV have come forward with the following statement. Rumours of privacy leak on the latest Super Smash Bros. Game report a link to our company. All these rumours only support one idea. Journalism is not limited to searching Google. Indeed, the person involved in this rumour, if so, is no longer present in our company since November 2016.
We are now contacting all these sites and Namco Nintendo to remove this false information and evaluate the judicial suites to be given.
But after he left the company, he joined another company, does the same thing. They create promotional brand images, and they're located very nearby the location of his previous employer.
On top of this, according to Liam Robertson, the employee was contacted and denied the whole thing. Of course, we can't say for sure whether he's being 100% truthful or not, but it raises the possibility that someone is simply using his identity to pull off an elaborate hoax.
Give this leak a little more backbone. I mean, it doesn't, but it's strange. There was a text post a while back in September that pretty much mentioned all of these things one for one, in a very aggressively vulgar fashion.
My fucking cock. These sources are pulled out of someone's ass. They guessed a few things right, but they're broken clocks. Give Nintendo more credit. There's literally a team of people that curate the hype train. You think they'd put a fucking Fire Emblem character and a literally Who and a boring-ass Pokemon in the final stretch? Yes. I feel bad for the disappointingly large number of people who have accepted their fate and think Steve and a Grand Blue character will make it to Christ.
Right now, I just want to talk about how hilarious it is that the validity of this new leak is all determined on the validity of leaked Grinch promotional material.
right? That's right.
There's a poster for it in the background that features renders of the Grinch character that have not yet been seen. So this is like a new look at the Grinch on a poster.
Because of this Grinch, this marketing thing that only somebody within this field should have this information and has never been seen before and never been duplicated, it kind of makes it more valid.
But they're not new renders. Everyone's saying they're new renders. They're not out there yet, but they are. I don't believe they're out in English-speaking territories, but they are in the wider foreign market. Nantengex found these renders from various different promotional areas and stuff like that. And, you know, I managed to even recreate it myself.
Also, there are pictures of assets of just the background of the Everyone Is Here sort of battlefield where everyone's standing. It's a picture of all that without any of the fighters, which is something that no one's been able to really get.
By itself, that's pretty compelling to me, because it would be a considerable amount of work to paint the characters out and just have the ground and the sky. Although, considering the fact that the photo that we have is pretty bad, and presuming that this is fake, it wouldn't be hard to just kind of, you know, half-heartedly paint out the characters without, you know, putting too much effort.
Let's say they were making something like a wristband, something small. Having too much detail in the background might blur the characters too much. It might use too much ink or something. You know, I don't know. I'm throwing stuff out there.
Print pieces hold up pretty well for resolution. Like, you can have 300 pixels per inch on a print piece. So people saying that they would need to make simplifications just to put it in print or to reduce ink cost or something like that, that's not a valid thing. Like, ink cost is not going to change based on the kinds of changes that you're seeing here.
By the way, guys, that is not, people keep telling me, it's not a wristband, okay? I know, I've seen those before. The thing, it's, that goes around like a gondola. It goes around like an end cap. That's what that is.
It has been pointed out by some that the mural image on this hanging display is not properly scaled, and that the mural would not fit on the display as shown. Whoever has made such an argument is an individual whom I can only assume has never had to set up a retail display, or at least never actually looked at the instructions for doing so, because as someone who has set up dozens and reviewed the instructions for probably hundreds over the course of 7 years work in retail, I can assure you that the instructions for those displays are never properly scaled, or properly clipped, or properly angled, or properly sized, or properly representative of the space that you actually have on the display to put the items they're telling you will fit there.
When you have sophisticated, large images like this that you're taking from far away, it would be hard to make out all the small, intricate details.
It's not just the fact that it's a Snapchat. Like, just because something is on Snapchat doesn't mean that large details, like broad macro details, would be changing. Things like this collection of pretty high contrast white to darker gray, that's not going to get lost just because you're taking a Snapchat photo.
Artistic anomalies in the instructions are expected. In fact, I would be honestly shocked if they were not there. This gentleman's role in the company likely includes either review of materials or assembly of the instructions themselves. The images used were likely taken by a worker at this company, if not the gentleman in question, on a low-quality camera and jumbled and edited into place to fit the lines and serve their bare purpose of being a placeholder. They were almost assuredly not provided by Nintendo. Any artistic analysis of those pieces is utterly irrelevant to the validity of the leak.
From there, I want to look at the banner itself. I think there is so much attention to detail in this banner, and it just feels very Sakurai. The placements and expressions of the characters just seem to be so planned out.
See how Snake is in this weird pose? Like, for some, why would they be making him use the rocket launcher, right? Like, why would he be doing that?
Right.
Instead of standing there being cool. If you look at the Grinch thing, he's pointing the rocket launcher at Banjo, and Kazooie's freaking out. And it could be referencing, there's a mission in Metal Gear Solid 5 where you gotta shoot a bear.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
That's so specific. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy! Now let's look over at the hypothetical Chorus Kids placement. The attention to detail again seems to be there, as they appear to be freaking out over the butterfly that the villager is attempting to catch. an interesting and funny thing to add, but we see similar cases in the actual banner where Wario and possibly DDD seem to be afraid of the Pokemon that are just to the left of them.
There's another thing involving Inkling Girl. It's more of a stretch though. In the banner art currently, she's looking up angrily and not looking at anybody.
So I decided to look back on the Grinch leak since everyone has been buzzing about it, and noticed that Roy is definitely in a position that Inkling would be looking at him. He's further away and seemingly in front of her.
Someone is claiming that in front of Mach Rider or around Mach Rider, there's this shape that appears like it could be Major's mask. And people are now trying to speculate that Skull Kid is in the mural. Someone amplified the brightness to maximum on the image, and people have been saying that they can see the mask clearly and possibly see parts of Skull Kid's body. Now everyone knows I'm a Skull Kid supporter, but this just seems like a real hard sell for me.
Because the way it is now, like, this could just be a very, very clever staging by somebody who actually works for this company and is in a position to make a printout like this, but it could be like crap artwork that you can't tell it's crap because it's such a bad photo. Of course, it could be real artwork, and we'll never know because we don't have a close-up photo, so that's the thing. Because we don't have a clean photo, we can't say for sure whether or not this is, legit artwork or not.
As if God himself is just fucking with us at this point. A little bug over on the Specialist website, because then you can scroll through all the characters and shit.
To me, is the biggest piece of evidence that this thing is real. If you look on the left, the bottom left side, when you see that screen, look at Little Mac.
Yeah, his
what the fuck's going on with his arm, guys?
Because if you take a look at where Little Mac is, and you then take a look at the Grinch leak in this image here, look who's next to Little Mac. Isaac from Golden Sun.
And basically that doesn't prove anything. I thought it did, but it doesn't. So Mike, could you explain this a little bit? Because I know you saw this.
It was just basically the site wasn't updating right for someone. And it was, the banner on the website is made up of segments. And so one of the segments wasn't loading right.
But if you get a dropper tool and go down to Little Mac's shoe, you see in the leak how Isaac has these greens around his feet. Oh yeah, you can find a pixel of it on Little Mac's shoe in the official Nintendo banner.
Admittedly, anyone that has any idea of color compression, any idea in a digital space knows they don't have time to explain that to the people looking at these leaks.
So, just a little while ago, Japan had that earthquake, right? Mm-hmm. So during this, a lot of things got put on hold because, the ground was fucking shaking. Everything was getting shitty.
Of course, we all know that the September Nintendo Direct was delayed a week because of that earthquake.
Would you be surprised to know that one of Isaac from Golden Sun's main moves is, in fact, earthquake? So if you're going to get edited out, it would be a character whose trailer probably involved a lot of earthquakes. Am I winning you back, Greg?
That's pretty fucking good.
More shit comes out. About 2 days ago, Wendy's has a little video just showing off some random gameplay of Smash Brothers.
See that unoccupied blue platform just to the right of the blue Falcon? There's an unidentified green item resting on it, and we're really not sure what it is.
It was quickly discovered that this item bears a really, really close resemblance to the icon for Growth Synergy from Golden Sun. Growth Synergy is a pretty iconic sort of magic which allows you to attack the enemy with thorny vines. It's one of the things that Golden Sun is very well known for.
They're showing off all the new features for Smash Brothers in the previous directs, and one of them was ladder combat. That growth spell from Golden Sun plants a vine tree, so you can climb up the vine tree and smack people.
But it would be weird for them to add a mechanic that only 2 stages in the entire game use.
Finally, it could also just be an original item we've never seen before that's appearing in Smash Ultimate for the first time. We really just don't know at this point.
Some of this is too conspiratorial for you skeptics. Shortly after the most recent Direct, Sakurai tweeted this image of Link, Marth, and Shulk facing off against the newly featured boss Rathalos from Monster Hunter. Golden Sun fans were quick to point out the parallels between this image and Golden Sun's battle system, of which the perspective is essentially the same, and even the characters' poses have an uncanny resemblance.
And yes, Isaac is yet to appear as an assist trophy in Ultimate, though he also missed out in Smash 4, so it's trickier to say whether he'll make the cut this time.
It fits together too smoothly, Alex. A little bit too smoothly.
The way I see it is basically, no matter what happens, Isaac's fucking in.
I think that's fair.
You see, SmashBros.com highlights 2 to 3 characters every single week.
The Smash blog will usually update with 3 character posts a week. Again, this has more or less been the case every week since the blog started.
After all the math, you have at least 6 to 7 characters that remain that have not been announced for the game that have to be in blog posts.
If we do have that many more characters, it'd be all revealed at once, and then the blog would be jam-packed, so that wouldn't really be 3 fighters a week. But again, the August Direct happened, that had 5 characters, and they were spread out between 2 weeks to still have 3 fighters a week.
Right. The factor that's making fans believe this is the coincide with the Koro leak, which essentially said that Smash Ultimate was going to have a total of 108 stages. So currently we have 103 revealed.
So that's 5 stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's 7 characters. Tad, Ryu and Sonic already have stages, so Ken and Shadow don't need stages.
So the real question is, was there actually 108 stages, or was it a typo? That's what we were all thinking. Well, this month, in October, the next issue of Koro Koro came out, and as you can see by this picture, they have gone back to 103.
It's possible that Koro Koro could be mistaken. Or it is possible that Koro Koro has gotten the right information and just published that information early. It really is impossible to be sure of anything until Sakurai or Nintendo confirms it.
As you can go through, recently Sakurai tweeted that he bought some little mech for research, and it looks very similar to the Mach Rider, the new design.
Right? Look back at the history of Mach Rider. Even though the NES Mach Rider game is the one people think about, actually the first toy that Nintendo ever made as a company was a little Mach Rider motorcycle in the 70s.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So all 4 of them would have originated from a toy.
Which I think is really cool, and once again backs up that if he was going to choose a retro character, it would be Mach Rider over somebody like Excitebike.
They perfectly line up in the character grid if they added these characters, so it'd be a perfect, nice rectangle. Not that that's real evidence. I don't believe in those type of theories because DLC would mess that up anyways.
That's not to mention Sakurai's comments. Back at E3, he told us not to expect too many new fighters, and well, this would bring us up to 16 total. He also more recently said that they were kind of winding down on reveals, and warned us not to expect too many new fighters. Now, of course, he has contradicted himself in the past, with Ridley being way too big for Smash, but
Now, the box for Smash Brothers, like the bundle Super Deluxe Switch or whatever, is already out. You can get it, but it comes with a download code, and you can't actually play the game yet, obviously, so you can't data mine shit. But a lot of companies are not credited on the box. Now, that almost works. You see, when it comes to crediting companies on the box, you actually only have to credit them on the box if their product is on the box. So say if Banjo's not on the top of the fucking box, you don't need to put Microsoft's credit on the fucking bottom side, right?
We said this on stream, how Isaac, Golden Sun, Banjo-Kazooie, Shadow the Hedgehog, Street Fighter, Rhythm Heaven, and Mach Rider have all had their licenses renewed, yeah?
So what is the chance of these 4 characters all having their trademarks registered or re-registered or renewed within the last year?
Some new information about this has come out that is honestly, it's very, very convincing information. Basically, there was a video uploaded by, I believe, a French bank, and effectively this showed off the ACP PLV printing company's design schematics and materials that they use when they are commissioned by a company to do printing.
Promotional video for ACP PLV shows a design process that is done using AutoCAD. Now, if you look in the top left of this, on the official leak picture, there are AutoCAD commands. That is already a pretty interesting thing. If you look down at the bottom there as well, it says the same style of printing for the designs in the leak are in the promotional video for the company.
But like that could be like an industry standard
Sure,
thing. I
sure.
don't know if I don't know enough if it's like a proprietary thing that only they have, or it's a universal, like it's like Photoshop essentially, or like Premiere or something like Final Cut, like that level of thing. That's why I say it's like circumstantial.
The marketing company, who had not made a statement yet, had a video taken down that showed off their company. This video proved the material in the leak was at least a super accurate copy. To do this, they had to contact a French banking company who posted it on a Sunday. They weren't even getting spammed with comments.
ACP has took the front of deleting their YouTube video and not making any statements, which is kind of suspicious.
Okay.
I'm team real, like heavy team real, just because I don't know. There's so many little things that we're going to talk about that add up like perfectly, and I think we're all going to be happy come December 7th.
Because that's not the end of the story.
How deep is this rabbit hole?
We're still going.
You know what's funny? It's like my respect goes up and down when it comes to leaks, because like I don't respect people who leak stuff like at all, but people who fake leaks, mad respect.
Here we go. Well,
if that game launches and like we're years into this and like Geno never happens and Shadow never happens, and we find out, like I'm gonna be like, wow, that's incredible. Yeah. That person went to those lengths.
If this is fake, it's going down like one of those amazingly elaborate fakes in gaming. So here's the thing.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? No way! No fucking way! They did not put the Grinch in! The Grinch! You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.